What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 217 of Real Estate Podcast. I'm here with Griffin.
I'm here with Trav.
I'm here with Adam.
This week we watched the Peanut Butter Falcon.
Peanut Butter Falcon. I'm pretty sure we watched this trailer on the podcast, right?
Oh, yeah. 2019 or 18, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's got our boy Shy in it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We don't shy away from much, especially Shy. This is the first time I've watched it. I think Adam's seen this
Yeah,
before,
I saw
right?
it when it came out.
And
Remember, I
you were just
watched
like,
this
"Man."
and I watched Honey Boy and was like, y'all, fucking LaBeouf is back.
I mean, and he is, though, right? I mean, like,
This was his return after his little rehab stint after he got all up in that cop's face
right.
when he got arrested.
I mean, who hasn't want to get up in a cop's face, though? I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on. But yeah, man, Peanut Butter Falcon. And I'll like whenever you watch, you're like, man, it's feel good. It's like way back feel good. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And I'm like, the movies hit different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's funny, though.
Dude,
Like
it
them
is
having
funny.
fun's fun. That's the fun part. Whenever
Yeah,
he comes out of that store and he's like, "You fucking criminal."
yeah, right.
Like
Them
then he
sitting
was
on that
cool
raft.
with him. Before that, he's like,
Yeah.
"Stop talking."
Yeah,
Hey,
and that shit was
Tyler.
fucking.
He's like,
Yeah.
"Don't say it again."
We gotta stop with this Tyler shit. Ask me whatever questions you want to ask me right now. That shit was so fucking funny though, man.
Yeah.
He's just like, rule 1, don't slow me down. What's rule 1?
Party.
Party. No, that is not rule 1. Rule 1 is do not slow me down.
He
What's
was
rule
like, we
1?
gotta have it's not a secret handshake. It was a special handshake.
Yeah. And it was, man.
Yeah.
They did it after special shit.
He's like,
Yeah.
He's like, well, I'd like to learn it. And he was like, well, you have something special has to happen. Like when we almost got ran over by the boat.
She's like, what? You
Yeah.
almost got rid of? He's like, yeah, we almost got hit by a shrimp boat. Like
No big deal.
nonchalant. Yeah.
We just been
We
living.
fucking yeah. So I mean, it opens with Zach, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Giving the lady
he's
the letter.
yeah, giving the lady the letter that had a drawing on it that was like pudding,
Yeah.
me fucking dipping out of here. And she's like, I got you. And she like faked a choke, faked a
Mhm.
cough over here, and he fucking hauled ass, and then he gets tackled out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You're like, damn, that's gonna be one of them kind of
We'll have
movies.
to
You know what I
label you
mean?
as a flight risk.
And I was like, why are they labeling him as a flight risk? Like, okay, so are they afraid that he's gonna try to jump out of the plane? Is that the flight risk part of it?
I don't know.
I don't I don't understand that. And they bring it
Well,
up
I'm
several
sure
times.
I'm sure like a special needs person having a panic attack is probably drastically different than like the three of us.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't
Like
think about that.
like they're not gonna think they're not gonna probably factor in the fact that they're so many thousand feet up in the air.
Yeah.
I think a
They're
flight
gonna
risk
fuck
just
you,
means
get away
runner,
from me.
Oh,
basically.
I never dug too deep into that. I mean, I don't plan on flying anyway,
Yeah.
so
But you could
I
still
might be
you could still be a flight risk. Like you'd leave,
yeah. And then it cuts to Shy, man, and he's seen better days.
Yeah. And then
He's
the
been
bottom
having a
dropped
rough
out,
couple. Yeah, for real. He's had some better years.
He's out here stealing motherfuckers' crab pots.
Yeah, I know, right? And I was like, oh, he's fucking related to Gump, but no.
Yeah.
He's straight stealing Gump shit, you know what I'm saying? And then we see the introduction of Riff Raff and
Yellow Wolf.
or Yellow Wolf. I got Riff Raff on the brain.
Mm-hmm.
And the brother from Eastbound and Down.
Yeah.
and it was good to see him. Like I've only
Yeah,
ever really seen him in.
he spun it down.
He's yeah,
He
yeah,
did a
and
good part.
it's
That was a good role for him. Like he looks like that
yeah,
guy. So
yeah.
does
He
Yellow
looks
Wolf.
yeah.
He said, "What
Yellow
about
Wolf
those guys that were chasing you? Are they good guys or bad guys?" Like he just,
yeah,
they're bad guys.
yeah, bad guys. Yeah,
It's like
I
he
mean,
didn't know he was gonna burn the whole dock down.
no.
He said
He just
they got
wanted
a
to.
roadblock on fucking 21. He said 21, huh? Roadblock. I think I'm gonna get out right here.
Yeah, I left something back
Yeah,
there. He was trying. He had a plan though, man. He was like, "I'm gonna fucking
going to
get in the
Florida,
boat. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Florida."
dude.
I'm
Whenever he runs
expecting.
off to hide from them, how'd they not
How did they
see
not?
him?
Yeah, how did
What
they
was
not see
funny
him at
was
all?
like from where he was at, they were just right there. When it
Yeah,
would cut
yeah.
to the other side, it's like you couldn't see nothing. I was like, I don't think that's how it works.
Not in a bright
Not
white
in
boat,
water.
you
It's
know?
all the fucking
Yeah,
same level, dude.
yeah.
You know?
It's that perspective shift, man.
Then that dude puked and he was like, put his hand over his mouth.
Yeah.
Man, he just
He
blew
had never been
chunks
on a
all
boat.
over you.
Yeah. They didn't care.
He's like, shut up, Rat Boy's gonna kill me. I can't remember the
Yeah,
other one's
right.
name, but they're called Yellow Wolf Rat Boy, which it fits him.
Yeah, it really does, right. Um and then so Zach is escaping the nursing home, old folks home, so that he can go to this wrestling school
Yeah,
that's what was his name? Saltwater Redneck?
saltwater redneck in Louisiana.
I mean, that's super fitting, right?
Yeah,
Saltwater Redneck. It sounds like it should be
a
a
wrestler.
wrestler from like the 80s or early 90s, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it sounds real, you know. He
played by
tells him
Mr.
he's like, "Oh,
Sandman himself.
yeah, I know, right?" And he's got like look,
Old.
every time that well, not only that, but every time I think about that actor, like I don't picture him in my mind as being tall and lanky. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I picture him as like he was in Tombstone,
Yeah.
right? And he played Sandman. He's been in several things, but every time I envision this guy, I never picture him as like tall, lanky with the goatee.
Mm-hmm.
When he shows up in that car and his face is all painted and
Yeah.
shit, I'm like, he just saved the fucking day.
Yeah,
You
that
know what
was
I mean?
awesome.
Like, yeah, that was really good.
He'll always be Harry from Dexter to me.
Yeah. I always put him as the dad on Killer Joe. He just plays the dumbass dad.
Yeah,
I mean, before that, he was Raiden in that shitty sequel to Mortal Kombat.
It's tough.
yeah,
We can't miss Bruce Dern. They
dude.
slipped
Bruce
Bruce
Dern's
Dern in there for a
performance.
little. He's like, if I had a fucking
Yeah,
dollar every time I watched this fucking tape.
yeah. And he was that guy. Like, he wasn't being an asshole.
No. But just an
He
old
was just
dude.
yeah. He
You
was
know?
just kind of like to me. He was trying to
He's
make
like, I didn't
people
say
laugh.
nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
But I get where he's coming from.
Um,
He's like, I don't know. I used to be an engineer. You know, he's over there bending those bars. He
yeah.
said, You've
And then
seen him, the kid's strong. And act like he pulled it
yeah.
apart. He was
She
for
comes
it,
in there
though.
and
He
she's
wanted
like,
him to get out.
yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
he
dude,
knew
that
the
sucks.
score.
You know, having to live in an old folks' home and be like, what, probably like 20 or something, 21. I don't know how old he
Yeah.
was. In the...
Well, and not only that, but like think about kind of like the the public, the public interpretation of special needs individuals, right?
Yeah. Like they
And
can't do
Bruce
nothing.
exactly.
Yeah.
And Bruce Dern, they lived
Was
in the
like,
same
shit, he'll
room
be all
together.
right.
Yeah, like he knew like this dude's really
He'll
smart,
find his way.
you know. He doesn't have life experience. And at the end of the day, he didn't have life experience. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, dude.
Um
He did after that
because
trip, though.
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. But I really liked how they played on especially Shia LaBeouf's character where, he was just like he can put his own shirt on, like,
Well, yeah, he's
quit.
like, don't do that.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, quit treating him like
Yeah,
that.
what's
And
wrong
she's
with
like,
his ankle? He's like, he's just doing that because you're here.
yeah,
He didn't say
right,
nothing
yeah,
about it earlier.
yeah. He can
Eleanor.
decide. Yeah, he can decide what he wants to eat. Like he's a
Perfectly
person.
capable,
Like
yeah.
treat him. Yeah, treat him like a fucking
The
person,
scene where he's like,
man.
"We're gonna do some
Well,
training just because we're on the boat." He's like, "Put your head under the water. See how long you hold your breath." And he let her have it.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say, Trav?
I was just saying that it's the kind of movie that'll make you think about, when you're dealing with situations of people, and people where we kind of write them off to assume that they can't take care of themselves. And I know that in some cases that's absolutely true, but for instance, like characters like in this movie, they're people that can function. They may need a little guidance here and there, but for the most part, they're just as capable of living a normal life,
Yeah.
albeit with a few caveats,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I mean,
it.
th-
I would throw this movie in the same category with like stuff like Derek.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Is he having a life? No, wrong show. But
Road show,
Derek's
yeah.
really good.
Same. Yeah, it is.
Derek's depressing.
Sad but good.
It is. Yeah. It's very depressing, but it is. Yeah.
But he was living in like an old folks home. It was
Yeah.
the same.
And it's
I actually knew someone that was my age and had the mindset of maybe like a 12 or a 10-year-old and lived in an old folks home.
yeah.
That happens a
I don't know.
lot.
It just seems particularly evil to how we like society at large will deprive an individual of the
A
ability to
life.
experience things. Yeah,
Yeah. And
because a group of people just decided to go. You know what? Well, we don't want to deal with him
It
really.
usually starts while they're in school,
yeah.
where they're like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
they're not going to be able to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
function. It's like, well, let's work with them here. Let's,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, and then that kind of goes, so in the current climate of the world right now, it's like equality full across the board. Like there's certain movements going on for specific, sections of the population and things like that, right?
mm-hmm.
But where is like this movement
Yeah.
at? You know what I mean?
Well, I
Like,
think
I
this
mean, and
movie was this guy. I don't know the people that made it. The writers, they wrote and directed it. That's them kind of putting it out there because I never thought about that.
yeah,
So I
exactly.
saw that and I was like, you're kind of right, man. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I've
yeah,
worked
where's
and
their
been
voice for
yeah,
them?
I've worked and been around and went to school with uh people with special needs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like, dude, I went to school with a kid from kindergarten all the way up until graduation that had special needs. And he was a huge wrestling fan, right?
Yeah,
So, like this movie, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And he was one of the best fucking basketball players I've ever seen in my life. Like, no shit. He goes anywhere on that court and he can fucking make. I don't understand how it works. I've never been that good
manifested,
at
dude.
basketball. Yeah, for real, right? And it's like, whenever I'm around someone that has special needs or anything like that, like once you start talking to them and actually see what they're capable of processing,
Yeah,
then you can actually have a conversation with them without making it sound like you're talking to a child.
yeah. Well, you'll
You know
hear
what
a
I
lot of
mean?
like older people doing that to them
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, no,
and
man, like,
talking to them like they can't hear. I'm like, why are you yelling at
yeah,
him? He can hear. What are you?
exactly. Like,
Just
what the
talk
fuck is the
normal.
problem?
Don't do that.
Yeah. Um, but back to what I was saying before, though, it's like that's something that I can 110% get behind. Is like, the those people deserve just as much attention and shot at everything as everybody else does. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like there may be some things that they're not capable of doing, this, that, and the other. But that's the same with any individual, right? Like
Yeah,
I can't do certain things, right? I just can't. There's just no way for me to do it.
yeah,
But I've learned my limitations and I've learned how to work and live around those things. and that's something that
Well,
you develop at an early age.
like he told him, he said, "There's stuff you ain't never gonna do. You ain't never gonna be a Olympic swimmer.
Yeah,
You ain't gonna be a basketball player."
yeah, but you're strong.
Yeah, there used to
He
be a
said he
guy that
almost
would
pulled
come
a
by the shop, man, Robert, and I picked it up early on that because I would tell him, I'd be like, I'd recommend stuff to him, and I knew he couldn't like read and stuff because he
right.
would come by there and want me to like help him with his phone, set
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
up, and I just thought I never like charged him anything to do it. I just did it, man. Then it got to where he'd be hitting me up. He's like, "Hey, you like Doctor Who?" And I'm like, "I do." And he's like, "I'm gonna bring you some Doctor Who stuff." I'm like, "Cool."
yeah,
Oh, we'd be buddy buddy.
yeah. Have a conversation, man.
Yeah,
And that's the thing that I kind of got from, like, this was a love letter, a passion project.
yeah, it was,
Obviously
man.
the person that they're the people that wrote this
Well,
probably
one of the directors' name is Tyler,
hmm
so
yeah, Tyler Nilson.
yeah,
So that, I mean, this is probably a very strong connection about,
for sure.
and maybe it had something to do with, like, you know, he went to school with someone like that,
Yeah,
or it could be anything really, that he was friends with, and it's like, it's bullshit the way that this guy was treated. Like, look, let's have it a classic adventure film, you know, and it's amazing that they weren't kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, they
I
were
bet
adults. Both of them were
it's in
adults.
the
You know what I
trivia.
mean? Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
What's
Well,
the
they met
was it?
Zach at a camp for disabled, non-disabled people, and he expressed his desire to be a movie star.
Wow.
So they made a movie for him.
And I mean, look how good it turned out.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that, like, Shia LaBeouf's performance, like, his character is very relatable. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
To a certain extent. I mean, we've all been down on our luck and things like that, right? We've all had, situations, issues, things like that come up that we're trying to deal with.
And
And
he
then
was a
him, like,
child star, and that's
yeah, yeah,
they don't normally make it out of that.
yeah.
You're gonna be a little fucked up. No one's told
Oh,
him
yeah, for
no for
sure.
like 25 years.
Yeah. But,
You ever notice in movies like these that they always like it always feels like it highlights this thing of, oh, look at how patient the main character became with the special person.
Mm-hmm.
Like patience is a fucking superpower. Because
well,
you could trace that back to a lot of films that deal with a duo,
Rain
where
Man.
you have, yeah, and the whole thing is
That
it's
is
like
part of it, though.
the thing that makes it work is patience. Well, yeah, and but like it seems doesn't it seem redundant? Like it seems like everybody
Should just
could
know
at
that by
least
now.
do that. That everybody can do that. Just be patient. I don't mean to get all deep the world about shit, but like
Yeah, you're talking to
it's
Mr.
just
Patience. I
it's
get
just
it.
something that
You know what I'm
it's just
saying?
something you see with these types of movies, man, is that because that's the thing. It's like, hey guys, maybe if we're just patient, everyone has opportunities.
right.
But
Well, but you saw, like, to me, like, this movie kind of goes beyond that to a certain extent, because, like, they have that moment, where they
When they're
have
in the
that moment
water.
before he goes to the convenience store, yeah, and then they have that moment, like, after all that crazy shit happens, that they're
Where they're
just
the peanut
chilling.
butter falcon. Oh yeah, where they're just talking.
Well, not even talking. There's
Oh, they
no
don't even speak.
dialogue. Well, he decides to take him out there and teach him how to swim.
Yeah.
And it's like and you see these flashbacks through the film where it's like
Him
he
and his
learned,
brother.
yeah, he learned from
It
his
was like
brother.
a brother relation. He was playing the big brother to him.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I felt.
And
Yeah.
then you also saw that, like, yes, you see the patience thing come into it, but he was an early adopter to the, like, I may run out of patience with this person, but he has no skills. Like he doesn't have any skill sets in
Yeah.
anything because he's been in the situation that he's been in. And like
But he didn't
if
know
they would
that
have,
until he met the girl.
yeah,
That's why he
exactly.
was the
And
way he
that's,
was with him. Like he was like, "Why are you following me around?" Like, he didn't know the story because the
yeah,
kid didn't think to tell him. I just escaped the fucking.
yeah,
He didn't know. He's like, his house might be 2 blocks that way. Why are you
yeah,
following me?
right.
But when he came back and those kids were trying to get him to jump off that thing, he was like, he can't swim. Dude, he went
Yeah.
up there. When that kid like pushed him off, he went up there and punched the shit out of that little kid, dude. He's like, you won't ever do that again. Oh. I was like, hit that little motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, for real,
Fuck
right?
him.
That shit, whenever they get to the convenience store and he's like, "Do you have any money?" He goes, "I don't have any money. I don't
Pockets.
have any pockets."
He said, here's
He
your
said, "I'm gonna
pockets.
give you some." Yeah, I'm gonna give you some pockets. I was like, "Wow," like I've never thought about it that way. You know what I'm saying? But like,
The way he acts, man, like that character that he played in that movie,
yeah,
Shia LaBeouf, like when the girl comes in, just the way he would
yeah,
talk, he kind of mumble,
yeah,
and just shoot his shot, dude.
yeah. He was he was a
Shoot his
classic
shot.
Gretzky, wasn't he? Yeah.
But when he came out, he's like, "Oh, you little criminal."
Yeah.
Ooh. That dude was like, "I've never negotiated